Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiri Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So continuing with our discussion on pastimes of Lord Jagannath, especially during Rathyatra. So yesterday we discussed how the Rathyatra takes place and what is the significance of Rathyatra. So now Jagannath-ji, he reaches Gundicha temple on his chariot. Gundicha temple is about 2 kilometers from the main temple. So, and Gundicha temple is non-different from Vrindavan. So when the chariots reach Gundicha temple, again one whole night Jagannath-ji stays on the chariot. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, they stay on their respective chariots. And then the following evening is again the big ceremony. The ramp is constructed with wood logs, and all the deities again they brought from the chariot to sit on the Ratna Singhasan inside the temple. The ceremony again is called Pahandi ceremony, or actually it was Pandu Vijay ceremony, but slowly the name has become Pahandi ceremony. So Jagannath-ji or Krishna has entered Vrindavan now. So one night he stays outside just to make the mood or tease the gopis that I have come but I'm not entering, or like that. So then he enters. Again, when he enters, he is again in ecstasy, he is dancing, cannot hold himself straight because now he's in Vrindavan finally. So he enters. And in the scriptures it is mentioned that when they leave for Rathyatra, they tell Lakshmi ji back in the main temple that we will be gone just for a few days, 3-4 days, and we'll be back soon. So Lakshmi ji is waiting there in the main temple, and all these 3 brothers, sisters, they are gone. So the 5th day of Rathyatra, so that will be 4th is when the Rathyatra was this year. So 5th July, they were still, Rathyatra was continuing because Jagannath didn't reach Gundicha temple on 4th. So 5th, the Rathyatra continued. 6th night, they went inside the Gundicha temple. So 7th, when they stay, it's also said, so 6th night they went in, and 7th is the first day when they have the real Prashadam again. For all these days, since they went through the 15 days after Snan Yatra, and then the Rath Yatra was busy, so they didn't eat properly the whole Chapan Bhog that they're used to eating. So, so the following day, so according to our calendar, so 6th they went inside, so 7th, I think today is 7th. So 7th is when they eat properly. So it is said that that prasadam, it's considered very important. So one should, if you ever go there for Rathyatra, so at least stay till these days, 7th. And then 8th will be the 5th day. So the 5th day is called Hera Panchami. So why that day? Because Lakshmi ji is waiting for Jagannath and Baladev Subhadra to come back. And it's been 5 days. So she sends her servants to see where is Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu also saw this ceremony, and he was really mesmerized by all the traditions that take place. So Servants of Lakshmi ji, they come to Gundicha temple and they see the three chariots parked outside. And then they understand Krishna is still in. He hasn't come back and he has no plans of coming back now. He hasn't started back. So they come, and since they are the servants of Lakshmi ji, nobody can mess with them. So they come and they tie up the servants of Jagannath ji, the Pandavas, and they break some part of the chariot in their anger, and then they really get angry with the servants of Krishna, and then it's like literally some curse words they use, they abuse because they are really angry. And Mahaprabhu also was, when at that time Mahaprabhu was watching all these ceremonies that were taking place, and he was like, wow, this is amazing ceremony that happens here. And he was happy how the interaction between the servants of Lakshmi ji and servants of Jagannath ji take place. So finally they give kind of a warning to the servants of Krishna that you better send him back. And the servants say, yes, 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 we'll send him back in 2 days. Don't worry, he'll come back. Or we will bring him back, not send him. We'll bring him back in 2 days. And then the servants of Lakshmi ji, they come back to the main temple. So Mahaprabhu, when he was watching this ceremony, and he was watching with his associates like Srivas Thakur, Swarup Damodar Goswami, and other associates. Now, Srivas Thakur is incarnation of Narad Muni, and Swarup Damodar Goswami is incarnation of Lalita Sakhi. So Srivas Thakur, he tried to kind of incite, kind of start something, instigate something with Swarup Damodar Goswami. And he says, oh, see the opulence of my Lakshmi ji, my mother Lakshmi. She's so opulent. Look at all the gold she wears, all the jewelry, and look at her servants, how they come and they chastise Jagannath. And I mean, she's so opulent. Look at all the gopis of Vrindavan. Look at Vrindavan itself. It has no opulence at all. What is the value of Vrindavan and the Brajvasis in front of Lakshmi ji? And Mahaprabhu said, oh, he again got into the mood of Narad Muni. Now what will happen? And Swarup Damodar Goswami, he gets really upset listening to all these glories of Lakshmi ji, because they are all servants of Srimati Radharani and they cannot hear anything against Radharani or Vrindavan. So he started glorifying Vrindavan, Braj, from different scriptures he quoted, and then he explained every speck of dust of Vrindavan is more precious than all the wealth contained in all the Vaikunthas. And forget about all the heavenly planets. And he said, my glories or the opulence of Brajvasis is that although all the dust of Vrindavan is it's like contains so much of opulence. All the trees of Vrindavan are desire trees. All the cows of Vrindavan are Surabhi cows. But the Brajvasis, they are in so much of love for Krishna that they don't give a fig, they don't give a care, even this much, little bit about all the opulence. They only want to love Krishna and they want to serve Krishna with love. They don't care for opulence. And so much so that Lakshmi ji is sitting in Belvan. The Belvan is one of the 12 forests of Vrindavan, where she is doing tapasya in Belvan. And she is asking for permission from gopis to enter Ras Leela of Krishna. And Gopi says, no, you're not qualified to enter Ras Leela. He said, this is the opulence of Vrindavan. And actually, Srinivas Thakur or Narad Muni, whenever he instigates somebody, the idea is to really hear the glories uh, of the person that Narad Muni is trying to put down. That is his idea, not to commit any offense or anything like that. So Swarup Damodar Goswami explained his wonderful opulences of Vrindavan, and then he explained the qualities of gopis, qualities of Srimati Radharani, and the pastimes of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And of course, all these topics are, and of course, he also explained the mood of service of Srimati Radharani. Of course, these topics are way above our realization or understanding. But it's all given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can read over there. So that is the fifth day of Rathyatra. So that will be on 8th. Then 9th, 10th, because 9th day of Rathyatra is when they come back. and so that is the Dashmi Tithi actually. Dashmi is the day when the return Rathyatra happens. So again, they sit on the chariot, again, the whole ceremony, whole festivities. But now the number of devotees reduce to pull the chariot. They reduce, there are still quite a few, but they would be like maybe 10 or 20% of the devotees or the people who are there when Jagannath goes for Rathyatra from main temple to Gundicha. One reason people say is practicality, because not everybody can stay for 9 days or 10 days. But another reason is that people or devotees of Krishna, they don't want him to leave Vrindavan and go back to Kurukshetra or Dwarka. The Gundicha temple represents Vrindavan, so they don't want him to go back from Vrindavan to Shri Mandir. They want him to stay. And they cannot take him back. They cannot pull the chariot when he's going back. So they don't, that's why they don't show up. But it's part of pastime of Krishna or Jagannath, so it's okay to participate in that festival. So again, the same process, Paundi festival and Jagannath and Balramji, again they are in ecstasy, moving, going back, and they all come dancing on the chariot, and then they reach main temple. Now again, they reach by the evening, and still they have to stay outside. Why? Now Lakshmi Ji is very angry with them. Why did you leave for so many days? When you said you'll be back in 2 or 3 days, it's the 9th day, and you're coming back now. So she doesn't open the door of the main temple. So again, whole night, Jagannath Baldeswara, they have to be on the chariot outside the main temple on the road. And next day is Ekadashi. So that Ekadashi, to please Lakshmi Ji, Jagannath Baldeswara, they wear this Shonabesh. Shonabesh means the ornaments made of real gold. And it's lots of ornaments and heavy. So they wear that, and that pleases Lakshmi Ji. Lakshmi Ji likes gold. So that pleases Lakshmi Ji. But that is Ekadashi. So at night again some festivities happen. And next day is when all three brothers and sisters, they get the permission to come inside. But in the evening, before they go, because Lord Jagannath's Rathyatra is so powerful, so famous all over the universe, that not only human beings, the demigods, the prey, the ghosts, everybody comes to attend the Rathyatra. So to satisfy everybody or to give them some Jagannath Prasadam, there's a festival called Adharpana. So like big pots, well, big in the sense like vertically big, diameter wise, they could be maybe 18 inches diameter, but they're very tall, about like 4 or 5 feet tall. So those pots are filled with different kind of liquids, some liquid with some chena or like paneer stuff and some other stuff, lots of stuff is there. So that is offered to the deities, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra on the chariot. And then most amazing thing that happens is they smash those pots, they break those pots, and all the liquid they just flow on the chariot and they fell down on the road. You can, this is on the YouTube, you can see the videos also. Why do they do that? The reason it is said that when they offer these pots to Jagannath, and the prasadam is supposed to be taken by the demigods, and whatever falls down below the chariot, it is taken by all the ghosts and the pretas and all these entities who have come there. By mercy of Ganesh Baba, 1 year I had the good fortune of tasting that Adharpana. So he brought so much of it, and it's very heavy. And then they put ghee in there, they put banana in there, and then they gave me one full pot, and it was very heavy, really heavy, and to eat that or to drink that. But they really enjoy. It's very tasty. It's very, very tasty. And then after Adharpana festival, then then Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, but first Balramji is allowed to go inside the temple. So again, the whole Paundi festival, again the ramp is made, and then he goes inside. And then Subhadraji comes, and then she goes inside. Sudarshan Chakra goes inside. But now time for Jagannath ji to go inside. But when Jagannath ji tries to go, Lakshmi ji is still very angry with him. The gate is again closed. So now, now the argument starts between Jagannath ji's servants and Lakshmi ji's servants at the gate. And then somehow they please Lakshmi ji. And what happens is Lakshmi ji comes, those who have been to Jagannath Puri, where the kitchen is, right at the above the boundary wall where the kitchen is. She comes over there, and Jagannath ji is on the chariot, and then Jagannath ji offers her some rasgulla, real rasgulla. He offers her, I mean, to just to pacify her. And after she is she eats that rasgulla, she is pacified, and then the gate opens for Jagannath ji also, and then he enters, and that's where the whole Rathyatra ends. It's the only place in the whole world where this kind of tradition and the customs and the festivities go on for so many days. And it's a festival of real love and mercy of Jagannath. How much he allows everybody to come take his darshan, see all the pastimes that are happening, and see how Jagannath ji also, as Lakshmi ji begs him to let him inside, because first of all, on the chariot he doesn't get all his chapan food that he's used to eating, and but he still stays on the chariot for us to take darshan and to participate in those ceremonies. And if you take darshan of Jagannath ji in the Shonavesh, of course we have seen pictures, we can see on YouTube, but it's a different feeling when you are there in Jagannath Puri and taking darshan of the Lord in that Shonavesh, in that golden attire. Not golden, gold attire actually. It's complete, pure gold. It's just amazing, different feeling. Um, Few years ago, I heard there used to be many fireworks and Jagannath is going inside, but now government has stopped all this. I don't know why. Uh, but anyway, whatever Jagannath wants. So this going inside. So it is. It's also, if you go to the Singhdwar, there's a sign says only Hindus are allowed inside this temple. Non-Hindus are not allowed. And it happens that sometimes people who are not Hindus, they try to sneak inside the temple. The Pandas are not always vigilant. So they try to sneak inside, but if the Pandas inside, they see any non-Hindu inside, um, then it's a big problem. Because what happens is, then they throw away anything that is being cooked. They throw it all away. And then they cleanse the whole temple. So that puts all the offerings, all the pujas, everything, it pushed back because then the whole temple has to be cleansed. Of course, Srila Prabhupada was always against this kind of philosophy. He said Jagannath is Lord of the universe, not of the Lord of the Hindus only. He's the Lord of the whole universe. And the whole universe means anybody and everybody can come in and take darshan. But it's been a tradition there for so many centuries. So I don't know how it can be changed. Because even during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, Haridas Thakur, although he was granted the title Namacharya by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but because he was born in a Muslim family, he himself did not enter the Jagannath temple. And also Mahaprabhu, seeing his humility, Mahaprabhu told him, okay, you sit where the Siddhvakul place is, and you sit here, you do your chanting, and you take darshan of the Neela Chakra on top of Jagannath's temple, and that is as good as taking darshan of Lord Jagannath. And also Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, although they were the Saraswat Brahmins, and they were the Goswamis, but they also did not enter the temple because when they were working for Nawab Hussain Shah, they were given the titles Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik by Nawab Hussain Shah. So these brothers, they considered themselves that we had almost become a Yavan, a Muslim. So we are not qualified to enter the temple. So it's not that the entering of the temple makes us eligible for love of Krishna or for mercy of Jagannath. Haridas Thakur, although he did not enter, and he considered himself most unqualified, and he would still chant 300,000 names every day. So the result was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is again Jagannath himself, he got so pleased with Haridas Thakur that he would bring every day prasadam from Lord Jagannath temple for Haridas Thakur. So that is actually the purpose of our bhakti, of our sadhana, of our services, to please the Lord. By entering the temple, which for whoever can, one should, but that is not the only way to please the Lord. Could be many times that could be pleasing our senses, that see, I'm such a big devotee, I'm allowed inside, and then whatever. Maybe we are pleasing ourselves, our egos. But the idea is to please the Lord. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami also, they pleased Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much by their humility. Mahaprabhu himself would come and embraced Sanatan Goswami, although Sanatan Goswami had some skin disease when he came from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri. But still, Mahaprabhu would not stop uh, from embracing him. And Rupa Goswami and everybody, all the associates of Mahaprabhu, they admitted that Rupa Goswami got the most mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he could understand the heart, the mind, the soul of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. During Rathyatra time, when Mahaprabhu was dancing in front of Lord Jagannath's chariot, he was again and again reciting a verse, a shloka, which nobody could understand the meaning of. He was reciting the prayers of Radharani and the gopis when they met Krishna in Kurukshetra at the time of solar eclipse. And they wanted to take Krishna and Krishna's chariot from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. And they were saying, although these are the same moonlit nights and all those, this is we are at the banks of this Brahm Sarovar, but it's not a match for Vrindavan or the banks of Yamuna, and where you used to only appear and only wear pitambar and used to have this morpang in your crown and used to play on your flute, and we used to enjoy with you under the kadamba trees and the other flowery trees. It's not the same. So Mahaprabhu was chanting that shloka because he was in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Only Rupa Goswami could understand what Mahaprabhu was trying to say. And Rupa Goswami composed a verse similar to that verse, carrying the same meaning. And Mahaprabhu, when he saw that verse, because Rupa Goswami was staying at Siddhvakul with Haridas Thakur, so Rupa Goswami just wrote that verse on the palm leaf and he put it in the thatched roof of the hut. And Mahaprabhu, when he came back from sea bathing, he saw this palm leaf and he picked it up and he read that verse and he said, how did Rupa Goswami know my heart intention? And everybody over there said, because you have given special mercy on Rupa Goswami. This is your mercy, that he can understand your heart. And of course, Mahaprabhu then tried to destroy that palm leaves, saying that people will read it and will misunderstand it. But devotees somehow, they do some different stuff. So they cheated him. They somehow kept the palm leaf and somehow they sent the palm, and somehow they copied. Otherwise, we would have lost that verse. I'll try to find that verse and post it on our WhatsApp group. So the point was that it's not just by going and taking darshan of the Lord is what we are pleasing. I'm not saying that if we are eligible, we are allowed, we are qualified, then we should not go. We should go. But idea should be to serve. Idea should be that I am unqualified. Only by your mercy I have come here and you're allowing me to take your darshan. So then the Lord gets pleased. So because we know and we are admitting, we are praying about our real position. And entering the temple of the Lord, it's not like we are, or sometimes, so many from ISKCON also, so many devotees, they cannot enter because of their different origins. So even Jagannath Ji was not allowed by Lakshmi Ji. Once even Lakshmi Ji was not allowed by Jagannath Ji to come and enter the temple. What had happened was Lakshmi Ji, on every Thursday, she goes out in Jagannath Puri And it's a tradition that she can go to anybody's house, all the devotees' house, and give them the blessings on Thursday. So that is also one of the things that we should keep in mind. There's a tradition there that one should not leave Jagannath Puri on Thursday. Either you leave on Wednesday or you leave on Friday, not on Thursday. So please keep that in mind when you go there. So why? Because to get mercy of Lakshmi Ji. So Lakshmi Ji one Thursday she went out, and then it was said that she can go to her devotee's house and she can have a reciprocation with them. So she went to a house of a Chandalini, her name was Shreya Chandalini. And that Chandalini had prepared nice bhoga for Lakshmi Ji. And Lakshmi Ji had that bhoga. And then she also went to so many other devotees' houses. And then she was coming back. Balram Ji saw that and he told Jagannath that, see, she has eaten at the house of this Chandalini. And now we cannot eat anything cooked by her. So she should not be allowed back in the temple. Jagannath Ji said, Davji, there will be a big problem. Let's allow her back. Otherwise, there can be a big problem. Don't do this. Balram Ji got angry. He said, oh, okay, I'm your elder brother and you don't want to listen to me. You're so attached to your wife. You're not listening to me. Okay, you keep her, I'll leave. Now Jagannath Ji got into trouble now. What to do? And so he said, okay, you're my elder brother. I cannot let you go. So gates were closed and Lakshmi Ji was not allowed. Lakshmi Ji came to the gate and the security guard told her that it's an order from Jagannath Ji that not to allow you. And she asked, what is my fault? What did I do? And they said, we are told that you have eaten at the house of a Chandalini and you are impure and you cannot come. Okay. Lakshmi Ji said, this is unfair because I was allowed on Thursdays to go anywhere and do anything I like, eat anywhere I like, but this is not right. So anyway, if this is the order of Jagannath Ji, I cannot say anything. I'll go. So she left. But she was so angry that we have heard of this kitchen of Jagannath Puri temple. There are hundreds of stoves, and on every stove there's 7 pots are kept for cooking. And it is said all these cooks in the kitchen of Lord Jagannath, they are personal associates of Lakshmi Ji, because Lakshmi Ji does the final cooking, and everything happens in her under her supervision, all the cooking there. So when she was leaving, she told all these cooks to go with her, and she told to grab everything from the storehouse because that is Lakshmi Ji's property. Okay, so they had to follow Lakshmi Ji. So next morning, Jagannath Ji, Balram, Subhadra, they got up and Pujari came and he was doing puja and Balram Ji stopped him. What do you mean you're doing puja? Where is the bhoga? When we get up, we are used to eating. Pujari said, there is no bhoga today because Lakshmi Ji is not there. And she took all the cooks and all the ingredients. So we cannot cook anything. Jagannath Ji said, see, but Davji, I told you there'll be a big problem if you're not going to allow Lakshmi to enter. Now what to do? We're not going to get anything to eat. Lakshmi has taken everything away. Balram Ji said, see, Jagannath, we have to have some rules in the temple. We cannot just allow anybody eating at Chandalini's house and thinking that she can come here. So Balram Ji said, okay, don't worry about the food. We have so many devotees in whole Puri. We'll go anywhere and they'll feed us. That's not a big deal. So let's go. So Jagannath and Balram Ji, they left. They left, and then that day, Lakshmi Ji had told Suryadeva that you have to really be hot today. Really, really be hot. And Suryadev also cannot say no to Lakshmi Ji because they all know the power of Lakshmi Ji. So he started shining very brightly. The sand was really hot, and the whole Jagannath Puri was hot. And these two brothers were outside, going to different places to get something to eat. But there was nothing they could get because none of the Brahmins' houses there was any fire because Lakshmi Ji had told Agnidev not to show up in Jagannath Puri today, not to any of those houses. So they didn't have fire, so they didn't cook. And it wasn't like they can order anything on Zomato or somebody will deliver. There was no such thing. So brothers, these two brothers, they were roaming around and they were very hungry and it was very hot. And then there was a well, they went to the well, they said, okay, we are hot, let's drink some water. But as soon as they thought of drinking, the well became dry. Now what to do? They said, okay, so no cooked food, at least we can go to a tree and get some fruits to eat. They went to the tree. And as soon as they went there, the whole tree became dry. All the leaves, they became dry, the fruits dry, and they fell down. And the brothers could not eat anything. So they saw one Brahman, he was giving away some puffed rice in donation. So they stood in the line, and when their turn came to get the puffed rice, Lakshmi Ji ordered, Vayudev, you should blow very fiercely. So Vayudev came and he took away all the puffed rice. And it just got scattered all over the place. So again, the brothers were hungry. Now what to do? And Jagannath Ji was telling, see, Ji, I told you we are going to get in trouble if we mess with Lakshmi Ji. There's still time, let's call her back. And Balramji, no, rules are rules, we cannot call her back. Okay. Finally, roaming around, they saw a house and so many people were coming outside and they're saying, oh, there was such a huge and very wonderful, sumptuous feast we had today, and we had never eaten this kind of food before. This wonderful. And Balram and Jagannath Ji, they got very happy. See, this is a place, we'll get some food to eat. And it looks like there's a nice feast. So they went, and then they stood at the door, and the host came and they said, oh, everything just got finished. The whole feast was there. Everything just got finished. So Balram and Jagannath, again, they were looking at each other, and the host said, okay, don't worry, you can come inside, we'll try to make something. So Balramji just asked, whose house is this? Where are we? And they said, oh, we are Chandals. Now there was a problem. So Balramji said, okay, see, we cannot just eat at anybody's house. So what you do, you give us the ingredients and we'll make our own food. Okay, so they provided the ingredient, they gave him the kitchen. And Balramji told Jagannath, see Jagannath, now you can do all the cooking. We got everything arranged. I'll go take bath in the sea and come back, and then we'll have prasadam together. Jagannath Ji said, okay, his elder brother, he can go and take bath and I'll cook. But when Jagannath Ji tried to cook, the fire did not lit up because fire god was told not to show up that day. And then all the wood, it became wet. And Jagannath Ji was trying to light the fire, and instead of fire came all the smoke from the wood, and it was covering the whole kitchen, and it was burning the eyes of Jagannath Ji. And Jagannath Ji was sitting there and not cooking, and he was just rubbing his eyes. He was still, and he was hungry, he was thirsty, it was hot. He was really miserable. And then Balramji came back after taking bath. Balramji thought, oh, now I have taken bath and now I'll have very nice prasadam to eat, and then we'll go and take some rest. So when he came, and he said, Jagannath, there's prasadam ready. And Jagannath Ji said, prasadam? I couldn't even lit the fire. And Balramji got, see, you cannot even cook now. What kind of person you are? So Balramji said, okay, let me cook. And he thought of cooking. He started the fire, but again, no fire. And again, his eyes also started burning because there was so much of smoke. And then both the brothers were miserable. And then this lady came out from inside. She said, don't worry, you cannot cook. And here is our 2 plates of prasadam we have just prepared. Why don't you sit down and eat? So they said, well, there's no other option, so we have to eat this. So they started eating. And when they were eating, Balramji told Jagannath, see, Jagannath, this prasadam is so nice. It tastes just like what Lakshmi used to cook for us. Find out whose house is it and find out the details. So Jagannathji asked, and then then this lady came from inside. And Jagannathji asked, and it was Lakshmiji. Lakshmiji told them, so now you have also eaten at the house of a Chandal. Now we belong to the same family. Can I come back to the temple now? And Balramji, of course, Balramji's elder brother, Lakshmiji did not say anything to him. And Balramji also cannot talk to Lakshmiji straight. And he tells Jagannath, okay, Jagannath. He kind of nudges Jagannath. Jagannath, you tell her that yes, she can come back. We have nothing against her. So the whole pastime was to prove that in Jagannath Puri, there is no difference between low caste and high caste. There is no such thing. And in Jagannath Puri, at the Anand Bazaar, where Prasadam, Lord Jagannath's Prasadam is sold, anybody can buy Prasadam there. And anybody can eat from anybody's plate also. It's not like the Prasadam will go bad if somebody eats from my plate. It is said even if a dog has eaten Jagannath Prasadam and something falls down on the ground, you can pick up that Prasadam and eat. And not just you can, you should. Because nothing should go waste. No Prasadam should go waste. And it's not at all contaminated. In fact, the whole Jagannath Puri, there's a custom there, or there's an understanding, although so much they honor or respect Jagannath Prasadam, that once we had taken the pots of Prasadam and we were going to a restaurant or someplace, we went to the restaurant and we put the pots, or we were about to put the pots on the table. And the waiters came running, no, 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 you cannot do that. This is Jagannath Prasadam. You cannot keep it on the table where you're going to eat other food. So you keep this Prasadam separately on a different table, which is not at all contaminated. It's very pure. And when you leave, you can take these pots with you. They're so particular about Lord Jagannath Prasadam. We cannot even put that. So after taking the pots, we went to a mithai shop, and we could not keep those pots on the slab of this mithai shop. He said, "No, you cannot keep it here. It's so pure. My shop is not as pure as Jagannath Prasadam. So you have to hold it. You cannot keep it down either. You have to hold it." So that's the glory of Jagannath Prasadam. And in fact, the same quantity of prasadam is prepared every day. And as I said, there are 7 pots on every stove, and they are all earthen pots. And all different items are kept in every pot, and they're kept on the stove. And it is said that the top items in the topmost pot are cooked first. I don't know how. And it is also said the final spices or the chonk is done by Lakshmi ji every day in that cooking, in those pots. And it's the same quantities prepared every single day. Even Ekadashi, then they don't follow Ekadashi because Jagannath likes to eat, and Ekadashi is kept behind his temple. It's a small temple behind Lord Jagannath's temple, and Ekadashi is kept tied up and upside down. Means nobody needs to follow Ekadashi. But when we go, we still have to. We still try to follow Ekadashi. And yeah, I was coming back to the same point. So every day, same quantity is prepared, and like Rathyatra time or other festival time, there's so much of crowd, and people can eat same prasadam and they get full. Even little bit prasadam they eat, they get full. And you go during non or off season time, maybe December time, that is the off season time. And same prasadam is the same quantity, and you eat more, and then you get full. So nothing gets wasted over there. That's Lord Jagannath's prasadam. And it is said that in Kali Yuga, there are three ways to get to attain Krishna Prema. In Braj, by rolling in the dust of Braj, and in Mayapur, Navdip Mayapur, by participating in congregational chanting of holy names. And in Jagannath Puri, one gets love for Krishna by eating or honoring Lord Jagannath's prasadam. And that honoring means filling up to your neck, that there is not even room for breath to go through. That one prasadam one should eat. And that's the way to attain Krishna Prema. That's the best way to attain Krishna Prema. And the prasadam is so great, amazing prasadam. There's no comparison at all. So that is Jagannath Puri. I know there's so much more to say and we're running out of time. So I'll stop here. See anybody have any questions or comments?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
In fact, Prabhuji, this one that you said, prasadam don't keep on the table. In fact, we have also observed it last time. We had also taken it and we didn't have plate. We asked the restaurant person to give us some plate. They refused me. We cannot give you plates to eat abada or mahaprasad. I said, that's crazy then. They said, मैं आपको पत्थर ला देता हूँ, पत्ता ला दूंगा, plates नहीं दूंगा. I said, fine, do anything. Yeah, that's very true. So now I'm able to connect the dots. And that mithai wala na, at the back of the temple, they said the same thing.
Yep.
So, being the materialist person, in fact, I thought, yeah, what crazy, but now I can connect the dots. Thank you so much. But Prabhuji, tell me on Ekadashi then. So because this year I have the fortune of going on the Bahuda Rath. So when they come, the chariots are pulled down. So day after that also they stay outside the temple only. No? They don't go in there. Is that what you said, Prabhuji?
Yeah, on Ekadashi they stay outside because they have to wear this golden attire or gold attire. I'm again wrong. So to please Lakshmi ji. So she gets pleased, and next day she allows them to come.
Next day morning will they be allowed, Prabhuji?
Evening. Everything happens in the evening.
Thank you. Mahaprasad. Let us see whether we are fortunate or not. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes,
there is so much freshness, Prabhuji, in the Katha. Every time you say it appears as if in fact a new page has been read for us. So much freshness. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And amazing way storytelling that you do, Prabhuji. The way you say it.
Oh, thank you. Archana Mata, you were saying something?
Krishna Prabhuji, very sweet and lovely pastime. Really gets
I
into
know.
it. Really gets
I know.
into it. Very sweet. Very sweet.
And there's so many more. There is no end to it, actually. There is no end. So I guess we can stop here.
Thank you very much.
You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Prabhuji.